Hey, this is Lynette Chandler from Thrive Anywhere. So, I had an interesting question lately, which is how to make a gradient in Canva. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. Now, in the past, you really couldn't make a gradient from scratch. But thankfully, with the new additions that they're doing in Canva, you can actually create your custom gradient. Let's start with option number one, which is to use the graphics that Canva has already given to us. When you look on my screen right now, I have this slide looking image with a really interesting gradient. Now, would you believe if I told you I didn't make this gradient from scratch? In fact, it is a combination of two different graphics that is included in Canva. Now, just keep in mind, I do have Canva Pro, but I think these elements are not in the Pro that you can get it in the free version as well. Just keep in mind that I may have a little bit more options than you may have if you are using the free version. So let me remove everything on this screen here and let's start over. To do the gradient that I had earlier on, I go to Elements, and then I click on Graphics. Now you will see that you see what I've used to create it. But at the bottom here, I will also see a gradient option. I'm going to click that. The ones with the crown are pro options, but you know what? I usually end up using one of these. And let me click on it to show you. What you want, let me remove this text. What you want are the elements that when you add to your canvas here are the ones that you can change the colors to. So for example, now I can change this to meet my brand colors. Now let's go back to the gradients here. Click on graphics again and gradient. There are some elements in this gradient feature here that do not have that. So let me click on this. Now this one does. Some of them don't. Like that one is very beautiful gradient image, but you see it says edit image. So this is an actual image. It's not, I imagine these are somehow SVG or something, which is why you can't edit these colors. But this one, you cannot change the colors, which means if you're trying to match your brand colors, it's not going to be super helpful. However, there is an option that maybe you could use depending how close your brand colors are to this or the color that you want to achieve is to this. You can just click edit image. And down here, you will see this dual tone as you scroll down, and you can click all. And using this tool, you can actually change the colors a little bit to be close to what you have. So for example, Myrtle, because my brand colors are green, so that will bring it back. And that way you can get the nice little crescent design, and that will be a really nice option too. What I can do here is I can put it like in the background like that. Let me remove that. And maybe I change this to something that's more intense, or if I want to change it to the actual colors that are in the photo, we can do that too. So that kind of makes it look rather interesting. But like I said, I usually end up using one of these, which are the free ones. And this one, I have 3 color options. I usually end up playing with one of these really. Let me see here. Maybe something lighter here in the middle and going back there. And I'll do something like that and then position it toward the back. And then now I have a little bit of interest going on here on the side. And I will go back and maybe add this to here in the corner. And I will change the image color and then play around with your transparency. Use that to your advantage and just kind of move around and layer the options like that. Nice thing about Canva is it always gives me magic recommendations, which I love. And let's click on that. See, that's an image too, so I really don't want to use that. I want the ones that I can change the colors to. Now this, I like this one a lot too because it gives me the option to create one focal point. So if I put that over here and I play around with the transparency like that, I can really create some really interesting movement in the background than just a plain linear background. So I hope that gives you some ideas how to really create some interesting backgrounds using what you already have. Now, let me remove all of these again and start over. The other thing that you can do, which is the new way, the second option, is this tool here called gradients. Now, you may not have it here on the side, but I only have it here on the side because I've used it before. So let me remove this and let me show you. If you go all the way down here to apps and you scroll down, these are some of new tools that Canva has included. Either they created themselves or they have new developers created for them. And check in here every now and then because you see some really cool things coming in. And under beta apps, we see this gradient. So just click on that and it will show up in your sidebar here like pinned. And now, like this, if I want to, you can create the Canva brand gradient. And if I click create, it will basically generate that for me. And these are basically pre-created gradients. Now, if I want to, I can create my own gradients. So let's say I change this to something like that. And I kind of like that red going there. Maybe I like something that's a little cooler. And I can also drag this, I can also drag this to wherever I want. And I can also add another color here. So maybe I make it a little greener towards a teal, back towards teal and green here. Or I can go over to that area right there. The only thing I don't like about this is that it doesn't give me the option to use the brand colors. So if you have brand colors here, you have to enter your own hex colors or RGB colors in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click that and click it until it says hex. And I'm going to put my green color here. That's the thing. It's a little tricky and I actually have to enter it myself. Let's see here. Some green, it is D1DE74. So it won't let me copy and paste for one D1DE74. Yeah, that's the only thing that's, it isn't beta, so you have to keep that in mind. And maybe I'll change that to a little bit net slider. Yeah, I like that. I really like that. So now I'm going to click create and ta-da! I have my own custom gradient to work with. The only issue with using this tool is that you cannot crop it. So you cannot put it within a frame. And really, that's the only downside to it because it's one of these editable elements. Anything that is editable, you cannot really put it in a frame. Let's try this. See what I mean? You cannot put it in there. The third way is really to use something outside of Canva altogether. And honestly, at this point, I don't see a reason why to use it, especially when we have this gradient option here. But if you want to, you can. You can go to dodat.dev. And in here, you can create all kinds of different gradients. For example, I like this Gleefy one. And instead of doing a SVG, I'll just download a JPEG this time. Let me make current screen size and download as a PNG. And I'm going to save it to my computer. And then from here, I would just go find it on my computer and I will simply drag and drop into Canva and then I can put it in here. I hope that gives you some ideas to play around, have fun with it, happy designing. If you like this video, make sure you hit like and do hit the bell button to subscribe. And do come on over to thriveanywhere.com and click on our freebies link to grab some of the freebies that we have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time. Bye-bye.